I read, it is Captain America 364. Our hero is fighting his new villain, Bane. I think this cover looks unfinished. The background details, they feel like they are totally separate from the main piece of art. It looks like, again, the version of the cover that they would show in Marvel Age magazine. Our story is that Captain America has been lured into a trap by Bane. They were in that horrible place called Blackpool. Worst place in the world. And it is a fight. Our first ever fight between the hero and this villain. Bane was only introduced a few months earlier. And the story here is that he has kidnapped Rachel Diamonds and used her as bait to lead Captain America into a confrontation. I reviewed that issue, the first part, and explained Bane's first appearances in that video. Captain America versus Bane is always a solid match. They are two skilled fighters without many gimmicks. They are basically two hand-to-hand combatants. I feel I have derided this artist, Dwyer, more than I probably should, but the fight is executed well. I think he will often do shots with insufficient background work, or he'll draw from faulty or inconsistent perspectives, but that is the extent of my problems with their work. This fight is great. The figures are clean, and their actions are visually established, e.g., you know what they are doing or meant to be doing, each panel. One thing I love about Bane, I didn't think of this until after reviewing part one, Bane, he is your almost typical bigger bad guy. Heroes will always have that one bad guy who is like a bigger counterpart of themselves. They are bigger and usually stronger. Venom, Saberclaw, Crossbones, Purple Ghost Driver, Jeff Bridges, Rocket Red as well, Aluminium Man, Iron Man has a lot of them, Doomsday Man kinda, Slash. It is a very typical hero-villain dynamic. I am sure that it has got a name. It'll be a trope with a proper name. But here is that horrible Robert Liefeld cover because it goes terribly with what I'm about to say. One thing I love about this villain is that they never try to actually make him stronger than Captain America. They never gave him a knockoff super soldier syrup or had him have the Power Booker's strength augmentation. He got powers once, that lasted about 5 seconds. He got very temporary Unhuman's powers. And Captain America still kicked his arse. They were never meant to be a full-time thing though. He was always meant to lose those abilities after a few issues. They weren't meant to be long-term. As this pair fight, we have our Rachel Diamond in distress, our Diamond in distress. This continues the trend of showing her to be independently capable of saving herself. Here, she beats off a bunch of lads. She just came from an outhouse after all. The madame from the brothel has sent men after Rachel Diamond, and they make the mistake of calling them a goon squad, so I laughed. Then there is this bit with Captain America and Bane, panel 1. Captain America, he has Bane pinned, and he holds his shield to his throat in a manner to threaten beheading him with it. And Bane teases Captain America because he knows that Captain America would never actually kill him. Even the neo-Nazi bootlicker villain would write Captain America more in character than Martin Quaid. The physically defeated Bane leads Captain America straight into another trap that he had set up. He tricks Captain America into standing on a hidden landmine. So now Captain America, he cannot move without setting it off. He cannot chase after Bane. It is a bloody good thing that Rachel Diamond is saving herself, because I feel like any other captive being held in a brothel would have had something slid into them by now. She is bashing them off and popping their pipes, and she's wearing heels. Over here we have, this struck me as interesting. It will have no such quality to you. Rachel Diamond thinks to herself about calling in the Serpent League of America, but I was always under the impression that by this point she had left them. It is a long story, but we don't see her with the Serpent League, or even the League outside of 353. We don't see them after the mutiny by Madame Hydrox, but in that, Rachel Diamond brought Captain America and his hero buddies into their Serpent Civil War, and in the end she was loyal to the original leader, Sidewinder. I always took it to be that she left the Serpent League of America after that. The others didn't really want her, and they saw her contacting Captain America as a betrayal. The appalling Excellent Men annual. It's at odds with other parts of her character, but that does reinforce my idea that she had left the group with Sidewinder. Captain America 368, as her say that she had left the team. I did check for once. And dare I proclaim, my memory was right. She had left the team, but I guess Marky Mark G either forgot or he hadn't committed to that yet. Her fallout with the team is covered in depth in the story where the Serpent League of America put her on trial. There is this great Batman-like page here with Captain America trying to think his way around the mine. He's even trying to work out how powerful the bomb is from its surroundings. And he is trying to rationalise if it really is a bomb, or if it is even active. And without further ado, here we have the origin of Blackpool Joker. And over here we at last reveal who Bane is working for. It's Red Skull Man. They held on to that for longer than you would have expected, but outside of those months in 1989, I don't think there has ever been a time when people didn't know or expect it to be Red Skull Man. Bane is almost forever linked with Red Skull Man after this. He is Red Skull Man's go-to hired muscle. There is a part of Bane's origin I want to talk about though. Everyone but me seems to have forgotten this piece of backstory. Red Skull Man met and recruited Bane when Bane had been sent to burglarise Red Skull Man's castle. Bane had actually been hired by the 50s Red Skull Man to steal from the original Red Skull Man. It's a little detail that never gets mentioned again. The real Red Skull Man, well, they have one of those Marky Mark J style shirtless wrestling death matches. And then afterwards, Red Skull Man decides Bane is too good to kill and instead takes him under his wing as his new soldier boy. They will show parts of Bane's history again. I remember one in Thunderbals, Red Skull Man, Iron Bane from Taskman. And so that has to be the 1950s Red Skull Man, right? They never mention it again though. I think everyone just thinks Red Skull Man hired him one day, because so few of them have actually read that story in Captain America 383. Great cover. Absolutely fantastic cover. Perfect Captain America cover there. The simplest solution to the mine is Captain America. He delicately removes his weight onto his indestructible shields, so that the shield should fittingly shield him from the brunt of the blasts. Bane gets away, but Rachel finds a hunky man, and I love that one panel of her rushing to hug him. That is our main plot dealt with. But how about our separated subplot with Vagisil? This will be her last appearance for 4 years. I was quite down on her in part 1. I as much as said she was pointless, but then I did what I often do, which is think about stuff too much. As an adventurer, as a costumed hero, she is pointless. I stand by that. But as a character, as a civilian ally or accomplice, I started thinking maybe there was something there. A book doesn't hurt from having a purely platonic female ancillary character in its cast. Maybe in the aftermath of her time as Scourge, spoilers for you there, after this, during the 4 years we don't see her, she became one of the Scourges. Maybe after that though, there is more of a character to explore. Have her trying to redeem her name, or try to earn Captain America's trust back. She doesn't need to be a main character, or even that present a secondary one, but maybe every few story arcs she could show up again, and we could have her trying to help or whatever. Maybe she became a cop, or an S-H-I-E-L-D agent. U.S.Agent wouldn't have been pushing her to turn herself in and face up to her crimes the way Steve would. Or at the other end of the spectrum, maybe she could become the new power booker or something. Have her try to redeem herself by overhauling and rebranding the power booker and trying to make it a good thing. But then she would struggle to do so, and she would often be brought into a Cap story because she has invariably given powers to someone that then has used them for crime. I should get a buzzer or a klaxon or something for whenever things get too fan fiction. I think one of the biggest problems with her is that these two issues, they randomly give her a solo story, and the story itself is very limp. There's not much drama here. Vagisil is blackmailed, Vagisil is tested, and then she overcomes it. But then, Urton, that ending is that after this, she did become a killer anyway. She contacts U.S.Agent at the end here. She phones him up. That will be semi-important. That is the breadcrumbs they pretend they laid down for ultimately bringing her back in U.S.Agent's miniseries. Have her be a character that is more associated with U.S.Agent than Captain America. That could be another way to utilise her. Although U.S.Agent isn't really utilised that much anymore. And when he is, fucking hell. It is a good issue. Maybe it could have done with another page or two of Captain America fighting Bane, but I'm not going to complain. It's always a good day when I review some Captain America that I like, so I've got to throw a 7 thumbs up at this comic.